and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147. Happy 15th of December, everybody. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Seen lots and lots of excitement over day 14's gift, and at least one that's been completed already. But today it is time to open number 15. This is a smaller item, and this one is a funnel. So this will be, could be in a multitude of different colours. We went for random. It's amazing how many places I use these. It really is. Considering I never used to have any and now I have them in various places. I use one for filling up my fabric softener and things like that. But yes, it is a collapsible funnel for filling up your pots with diamonds or any other household thing that you may need one of these little funnels for. Say various different colours, but they are definitely a handy item. Okay, we're up here at day 15. We actually get to connect two sort of sections, even though we're finishing one image. So I'm going to start off again with my white. I am using a second pen that was gifted to me by Brianne and her boys, along with a tray from June of last year, 2022. I can still say that's last year. It'll confuse me so much next year. But yeah, it is from June of 2022. It is the Add More Zest size. It is my favourite size to use at the moment. I find I go through phases where I gravitate towards a zesty tray all the time, and then I gravitate towards an Add More Zest tray all the time, and the zesty one seems small. But then I'll find I end up using a zesty tray for something and I gravitate towards that size for a while. And I can't quite tell you the reasons behind it. But anyway, it is the 15th of December already. I am still not completely organised for Christmas. We shall see if I manage to make that happen in the upcoming week or so, or if we just take it as it comes for Christmas. I'm not sure which it will be yet. Let's get that one tucked in there. Save me moving my cover paper if I just tuck the diamond in where it belongs. But yeah, we're going to finish off this set of books, which I think is a gorgeous little stack of books with a little letter that can say whatever your imagination can come up with. But comments, etc. Lily says she loves the improvisation of the borders. She said, have a great day. Thank you. I may have come up with something once I'd finished it all, but it's kind of nice to do it as I'm going along. Cat Lady says she placed her pen from day 10 on her laptop and turned the daylight lamp on. She said now it's glowing green. She said thanks for the anniversary wishes. It went well, and they went for a meal out. She's still full. It's always the way. Why is it that way when you go to eat out compared to when you eat at home? Though I have just had a rather nice chicken curry. She said decorations are now nearly sorted. She just needs to tidy a few things away, including some large diamond paintings. She says, a question. She says, can she store more than one diamond painting rolled into the same tube? Yeah, provided they're not squishing against each other or, you know, squashing each other up too much, which of course depends on the size of the tube and the size of the painting. You shouldn't have a problem at all. As long as none of the actual diamond paintings are in effect folding against each other, then you should be perfectly fine. Like, you don't want them that tightly rolled that some of them are starting off as quite flat. Yvette, she said, great whip and waffle. She said, since today's has been spoken about with the metal tips, she was just wondering if I was able to get the metal ones shaped like the brass ones, as she finds she can use those rather than the cone-shaped ones. We can't get them separately. It is a different type of metal tip that comes with our wooden pen in our shop, but I haven't seen them from our supplier. It is something I can ask them about, but I've not seen it from our supplier. They're a little bit harder to change. I do have some. I got them from Everlasting Tips. Just the little part where you actually pull it out of the plastic and you change this brass part to a metal one. Say it does seem to be what's in our wooden pens, but I've never seen them separately. Diamond Painting Addict, she said, another great whip and waffle. She said she loves being able to watch me every day doing my whip. She says, thank you for the glow-in-the-dark pen. She loves it. I'm so glad that everybody's happy with their gifts. Cole Buddy said, hi there, how are you? They love watching and listening to my videos and they're learning. They said, thank you for the tips. They use dryer sheets, she said, and wow, they pick up easier and that I sound so much better. And that's from Joanne. Oh, thank you. Yes, I get more out of breath now when I'm doing these on an evening when I've just had my tea. So if I get out of breath, it's because I'm full of chicken curry and stood up diamond painting and talking. So I'm fully blaming the chicken curry for anything. Right, hang on, it's time for the cardies to come off. I say I feel cooler, and then once I'm shut into this room, it all of a sudden gets warmer. Though having said that, I have got a t-shirt on and then sort of a shirt over it, and then I had my cardigan on the top, so I was definitely ramped up. Lady Dax, she said, even though P Jelly and herself are now a cat family, for many years, said we all had dogs, and each generation passed along the idea of a sock toy. It was basically one sock pushed down inside the toe of another sock, and then you tie a knot in the outer sock to hold it in. We called the toy Judy. She said we've got no idea why, but the dogs loved them. You hold one end, the dog holds the other, and tug the living daylights out of you. She does like to play tug with her rope toys, so that sounds a very good idea. When I manage to grab her a pack of socks that are just for her, something bright that nobody else would necessarily have as their socks, so I know they're all hers, then I'll be sure to do that with one of them, because I reckon she'll get very excited over a pack of socks. Griesh says, hi Rebecca, Cheryl H here. I need to try and remember that your name's Cheryl, than try and read out your username, because I get it wrong every time. She says, with a question/suggestion. She said, is there any way that for those small shop items you mentioned, for example, a pot with a nut, can be classed on your website as an add-on only item? That way they can't be added to someone's cart unless they're purchasing other items, i.e. based on weight or the size of the shipping container. She said she's not sure of the difficulty level of that, but perhaps there's an easy way so that we don't lose it as a stock item. Quite possibly that's the sort of things that need looking into. I sort of need to find out or get Megan to go digging. I can do a lot of the website stuff and but Megan tends to do most of the new items creation, and then they all need importing into our shipping provider to make sure that all the details are right on the parcels and all that sort of stuff. I could do it at a push, but Megan tends to just do it all. So I need to find out if that's something that sort of can be done. Because there are some things by weight that push things into a parcel size anyway. And it's just whether we can have an item show up as available when it goes to a certain weight. Yeah, it just makes it tricky as well, because it's so many different countries that we sell to. Yeah, it's something that I need to look into, whether it can be, I don't know, a certain price up until somebody's, the rest of their items hit a certain weight, and then maybe it becomes cheaper or something. I don't know. I really don't know. It is something that I do need to look into, because it can up the shipping. Not hugely, but it can be hugely if you're, from something that's the base rate shipping to adding that item can be quite a big jump. But it actually either won't be a jump at all or won't be a very big jump on those orders with heavier or bigger items. So it's definitely something that I do want to look into, because I'd love to stock them. I just don't want to price it out for a load of people or constantly take the hit on shipping with it. There's a few items we already take the hit potentially on shipping because of the size of the item. But they're every now and then, so it's not so bad. But I can imagine the little pots being added to somebody's cart a bit more often than those items. And there's only so many times you can swallow parts of shipping costs before it costs too much. Ms. Kim says she's so not ready for Christmas at all. Never mind, 2 weeks out. I think I keep telling myself that. I think what I seem to be doing this year, because I keep, thinking Christmas is further away than what it is. I'm sure in my head I think Christmas is the 31st of December. And because it's not yet the end of the month, it's only just halfway through the month, I've still got the other half of the month to get it sorted. And of course Christmas is a bit sooner than that. So yeah, I think I do need to give myself a bit of a talking to this weekend to get things sorted out and make sure that Christmas is finalised, so that we can go from there and I can actually get to Christmas Day without going in a panic on Christmas Eve, because I think Christmas Eve is a Sunday as well, so I won't have the time to panic that I may do a different year. Streaks Me said, hello Rebecca, thank you so much for the super fun gift. comments. She said the pickup pen is awesome, as she almost ordered one. She loves the little jar and nut idea, and now she can toss her 2 green boats that she used to use to smash together stuck drills. She said she does have a Diamond Art Studio question. She said since it's day 10 now, she's wondering what is day 9's image. At first she thought it was a bowl of rice with a Christmas twist. A friend said it looks like a bowl of pudding, figgy pudding, but now she's betting it's an ornament. It's a what is it question. Okay, so somebody has replied to her. So rather than spoil it for anybody that hasn't done it yet and can't shut me up quick enough, if you do want to know, it's on day 10. The question was asked on day 10 and it has been answered in the comments, so you can go hunting for it. But it is more of a UK thing. And I didn't even realise it was more of a UK thing until the questions came out. So it's a UK Christmas thing, apparently. Jamie said, hi Miss Rebecca. She's been watching my channel for years. Thank you for your content. Said they were wondering if in the giveaway we maybe do a gift card or something of that nature. Thank you again for all that you do. Loving the advent and anxiously waiting her load of stickers that she ordered. Hopefully they'll be here before Christmas. Hopefully they will. Postage hasn't been too bad in relation to parcels getting out of the country and on their way. So a lot depends on how post is where you are. Internal post, so post within the UK, has been a little bit slower. But because we send UK track 24, quite often if it's not there next day, it will be there the day after. It seems to have a higher priority to get there. The gift card is a good idea, however it's not a practical one for us, just from a business sense, because then it is put through as an order, and if it's UK we then have to pay VAT on behalf of what they've purchased. We have to pay the VAT, which is the tax, whereas if we gift it, then there's no tax equation showing on any paperwork. It's just been gifted and can be put as a sort of sample or marketing type thing in the books. But if it goes through as an order with a gift card, then unfortunately it has tax. It's the small things. It's the small things that bite you if you don't pay attention to them. And I don't want to pay the tax man any more than I have to. Laura, she said, hi Rebecca and co. She has been listening and she has just finished day 3 of the Diamond Art Studio canvas. Her first 2 days she did on Pattern Keeper, which took over 5 hours each. Today she decided to follow the pattern from the paper chart and mark it off using a yellow pen, and working upside down. So she did the 3s, then the 2s, then the 1s. That's the way I do it as well though. I always start from the bottom and work my way up. She said she found this way of working and working straight from the paper chart so much quicker. She said, as you can see it all, whereas working with Pattern Keeper you can only fit so much onto the screen. She says, thank you for the tip, if you can call it one, and speak to you again soon. Well, I'm glad it helped. I've still been working on paper. I've been working on paper all the way through mine. I'm actually a few days ahead. I have had a couple of evenings where I've been able to get 2 sections done. because I know things will get crazier soon. I've got one child due home from uni soon, and then of course Caris is due back from Australia soon. So I'm not expecting to be able to get stuff done, and I didn't want it to go into January. I'd rather do it early than it go into January. So I've actually been speeding ahead a little bit. By a few days, 4 or 5 days ahead. I've not yet finished. But yeah, I've been really enjoying seeing the images come to life. Sometimes I can tell what the image is going to be just by the symbols and things, or at least I have a rough idea. I don't know the colours, but I can work out the shape. Yet, this one that I'm currently doing, I cannot figure it out yet. I'm still working on the background. I did a little bit while Megan was cooking tea, and then I'm doing this video, and then I'm going to go and finish it off afterwards, and see what that one will end up being. Whether I don't know that I'll get a second one done tonight, but say I'm trying to do 1 or 2 an evening until it's finished, but we'll see how that goes. Susan, she said, oh boy, was today's Advent gift wonderful. She said she has a bit of a collection of diamond painting pens. She said you might say it's a slight addiction. So she opened today's and it was awesome. She said she had a thought though. Why are people making and buying glow-in-the-dark pens? She said we don't/can't diamond paint in the dark, so we pretty much will never see it glowing. It's true that. Maybe it's so that it can call you back to your diamond painting when you're planning on going to bed, maybe. Maybe that's why. She said it's still an awesome pen though. She also can't believe how fast this month is going. Time needs to slow down a bit. She said thank you for another fabulous day of waffling, and see you tomorrow. Hubby has actually replied to Susan. He's actually come up with a very good reason for it glowing in the dark. And he said if it rolls under the sofa, it's easy to find. That's a good shout, that one. So if it rolls under the sofa or the couch, you can find it. I like that one. Jen, she said, hi Rebecca. She said, did you know that Diamond Art Club has added some of its own colours to the DMC range, and they all start with 6,000. She said, are you going to add the new Diamond Art Club numbers to the storage stickers? Yes, we are aware that they have added. If/when Diamond Art Club produce a list confirming all those numbers, then we will look to see if we can add them to a sheet or create a sheet for them, depending on how many there are. At this time, they haven't provided a list, so trying to gather what numbers have appeared on what paintings from lots of different videos or comments or posts and things like that isn't something that is practical for us to do. So once they come out with a list, a bit like they have an A/B conversion list, if and when they come out with a list of the colours that they used, then we'll look at it. Up until then, you do get blank stickers with either the DMC packs or the Diamond Art Club A/B sheets. Both of them come with some blank stickers, so you can still have the pretty pattern design, and you can write in any of those numbers that you've got until such a time. Okay, let me pop this colour away. So I've started on some red, so I'm going to finish the red flower. So we'll go to the moon. Carrie said, another great whip and waffle, thank you. She said, on dogs with socks. She said, my niece's dog almost always has something in her mouth, and half the time it's a sock. She has a fascination with her stuff, her shoes, her sock, her phone. She said one time she walked up and literally grabbed her phone out of her hand and started to walk away. She's probably going, yeah, that's mine. She said she's very careful with her phone around Finny when we go to visit every month. Makes me glad that Luna has not found a fascination with taking phones, especially the amount of times that ones are lay about dotted all over our house. That would not be a good option. Let me change colours again. There wasn't that many of those. So to move over to the number 3. Laura, she said, oh, and thank you for the mention about me adding my picture to the calendar. Oh, thank you for letting me notice you, Laura. Say, there are times that I sometimes read things on the Facebook group, see comments on the Facebook group, and while I look at the person's name, it doesn't mean it sinks in and stays there. Like I say, I know somebody has completed day 14 cross stitch. I know that they put 3 comments on the advent thread. 1 saying what time they'd opened it, 2nd saying what time they'd kitted it up, and 3rd letting us know how long it took them to complete it. Can I remember who posted it? No, but it did make me laugh. It did make me chuckle that it's been done already. But yeah, I can be rubbish with names and keeping them in my head. For whatever reason, it just seems to, yeah, it sinks in and then it goes. Jo, she said, it's double digits day already. Yeah, and now the rest. She said, and because she didn't place her cover papers properly, she ended up with a very tiny section today and finished it early on with the video. She said it's good thing she stocked up on those gummy bears when she went to get groceries yesterday. She just continued watching while snacking and relaxing, which is nice after doing weekend work this morning. That's a good excuse to eat some jellies if ever I hear one. She said she enjoyed today's gift too. She said especially since she already saw it rolling around in the box when she was searching for day 8 2 days ago. Number 10 does seem to be the one that has escaped a couple of people's bags. Yeah, it does seem to be, maybe it's the weight of it or something. I've tried to sort of pack it into the middle of the box so it didn't have as much room to move, but we also didn't want to pack the box too tightly because then there was a chance, you know, that things wouldn't be in a fit shape once you got to open the bag. So yeah, some of them did escape, but at least it's an early day. She said the timing was really funny too. She says because later that day, Blossom Chops told me she wished we would get a pen in the advent, and she was like, she wanted to keep the suspense, so she didn't check which packet it belonged to. She said she planned to just wait until she got an empty packet or one with a hole enough. She said, and sure enough today, there was only a container of tips in the packet and a tear on the side. She said the suspense didn't last long. She said, thank you for the company, Rebecca, and for all that you do. I'm glad you didn't have to wait too long. I did have somebody messaging me asking if they had somehow got given something extra because it was floating around in the box, because the tips of course were still in the bag because they were lighter, so they thought they still had a gift for every day, but no, it just part of the gift had escaped. I think day 14 that we've had, of course, yesterday, and the day 10, I think they were the only ones with multiple items in a bag. So I think after that it's single. Jo also says, she says, PS, our dog Snickers also likes socks and has a stash hidden around the house. She would put her nose in our shoes looking for one to steal. Yeah, Luna does that every single time I go to get dressed in the morning. She comes with and goes hunting to see if anybody's left any socks on the floor, and if they haven't, then she wants to check the maiden if there's any that she can pinch there. She also tries to pinch any when I do the washing as well. I now put them higher up on the maiden so she can't get them, but she does always try to pinch them out of the washing basket. It's always entertaining. Grey Legrand, she says, hi Rebecca. She says she's trying to catch up. I'm trying to catch up on comments too, or at least get closer. She said until tonight she hasn't diamond painted since Thursday. She said it's now Sunday night and she is working on day 10. She has the round kit. She said she chose the round one because the finish measurements were closer to US standards, so easier to frame. She thought about keeping the image whole, and she's also considering chopping it up and framing her favourite images. She says, guess she'll figure it out once it's complete. She says, Hasta Manana. I'll probably hash that as well, but it should read, or it should have sounded as though I was saying until tomorrow in Spanish. I didn't do Spanish in school. Catherine probably would have been able to read that better. She did learn Spanish. Greta Kranz then also commented again, and she's gone, hitting pause. Oh, it does glow. She's been using her new pen today. Comments like that always make me laugh when somebody's reacted to something sort of in real time to the video. And yeah, that comes across in what they've said. I can just imagine somebody hitting pause and turning the light off and going, ooh, it does, and then turning the light back on and diamond painting again. Always fun. Mrs. Thaxton, she says, wow. She says she remembers when I did the painting over my hubby's desk in the conservatory. She said it was right after you guys built the conservatory. She said that's how long she's been watching me. She was in awe, she says, because it doesn't feel like it's been that long. It doesn't. Like, part of me is like, oh no, that's not been up that long. And then part of me is like, oh yeah, hubby had a desk. That was over there. I was working from home. It was COVID. It was all of, the conservatory was being built when I was working on a breakfast bar in the kitchen, because that was sort of the only table space I could work in. The kids had moved back, so there wasn't much of a sort of chilling living area until we got the conservatory as done as possible. So yeah, it's sort of like there was all of that. I've just dropped a diamond and I have no idea where that's gone. Oh, there it is. Found it. Stuck to my canvas. Down there. Let me get that back. Yeah, and it's sort of like, that was, what was it, 2020? Which has been in the last 3 years. So when I think that way, I think, okay, time's not gone that fast. But then there are other times I'm like, no, actually, yeah, time has gone fast. But yeah, it's currently, I've taken it down. It was only up with command strips. It's currently in here in my craft room, trying to determine what I'm going to do with it. Cross Stitch and Tat said hubby's Advent, so this is the one where he prefers her Advent than his own, was supposed to be 50th anniversary of the Grinch figures. She said he's got Winnie the Pooh, a die, which is a six-sided cubes with dots, dice, singular of dice, and a few other weird things. She says, needless to say, he feels like it wasn't worth it. I get that, because to me, neither of those are anything to do with the Grinch. So I get where his disappointment has come from. Right, where was I going then? Up here. I'm like, I knew there was more number 8s somewhere. Where were they? Kira, she said, Advent calendars aren't something her family ever did, and she was wondering why or how others have added these to their traditions, and it not be about another gift. Said, like, how to introduce it. What's the original purpose for them all? She says, thank you. She says she's getting frustrated with the holidays being stressful because of gifts and would love to get back to basics. At 53, she's definitely seeing things in a different way now. She says, love all that you do. Advent have always been something that I've had as a child. I don't know whether it's based on country or not. Back in the day, when I was a child, they used to just be cardboard. So it was like 2 sheets of cardboard. You'd peel back the day's number and it would show you a picture, and that's all it was. I think, or I can guess, that some of it probably stemmed or came from a way for children to know how far away Christmas was. You know, the whole sat in the back of the car, are we there yet, mum, type thing. An advent calendar was a way for kids to be able to count down to Christmas and not keep saying how many days, how many sleeps, how long. You know, you opened one a day. That's when Christmas excitement sort of started and you knew when it was going to finish. There may be some other reason behind it, some more official reason, but that was always my viewpoint. It was a countdown. Our calendar got upgraded when we got a bit older, and it became a tower of little boxes, and my mum and dad would fill the boxes with a few sweets, and I think we'd have to share them. There was only one between the 3 of us, and we'd share the sweets. And then it seems to have evolved from there to companies producing ones that are more for adults, a lot more expensive ones. Sometimes it can be expensive ones for kids, Lego and things, but it tends to be a way for adults to treat themselves on the lead up to Christmas. It's not necessarily something that, you know, the Advent is bought for you by somebody else. It's perfectly socially normal to buy your own Advent calendar. So yeah, I think it just became a way for adults to be able to treat themselves as well. But there's probably something else historic meaning wise behind it, that I'm sure if you did a quick Google of Advent, you'd probably get the real reason behind it. But that's always been my understanding. It's sort of a countdown for kids to stop them asking how long, are we there yet, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm sure there's definitely some other or some religious reason behind it. I'm sure 12 Days of Christmas, I think, has something a bit more religious behind it. User Emmy, and then lots of numbers. Pam. It's Pam. Hiya, Pam. She says, hi, Rebecca. She said it is the first time she has left a comment for anyone's YouTube posting. I feel honoured, Pam. She says, firstly, a very belated thank you for the Heaven and Earth design stickers that we did for her. Oh, you're more than welcome. She says they came back so quickly, she was very surprised. We do put 2 weeks on the Heaven and Earth design stickers, primarily because we never know what Megan's schedule and school things are going to be like. But I do often nag her until they're done, so she often does them as soon as she can. I don't like orders sat in pending. I like orders to be out as soon as possible. She says she now has the canvas, the drills, and she got those from Smith & Sons, and she was also surprised at how quickly they were done. She says she's got the stickers. She says she just needs to find the impetus to get the damn thing started. 2024 is your year, Sam. She says the main reason for her post is, she said, where did you get your rhinestone drills from to make the joins for between the pictures? She said everyone seems to sell round drills and not square. She says she's only been painting for about 6 months, but it's addictive. She said thanks again, and for any info that I can give. I can, Pam. They were from Diamond Art Studio. I think they sell them singly as well as in sets. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's actually white on the purple, but it's Diamond Art Studio UK that they were from. They do neon ones, and then they've got like a full colour range of the square rhinestones. I have what I think is a full set. Possibly. Maybe not. I have lots of them, and I should try and incorporate them more. And that's just reminded me, I've done all my whites, gone straight into my colours, and I've not placed my rhinestones. So while we're talking about them, let's do them. So yeah, Diamond Art Studio UK, Pam. You can get them from there. Another UK supplier, so should get to you pretty quick if you want them handy. Amanda, she says, okay, Miss Rebecca. She said she gives up on trying to catch up. She said she's starting on the advent calendar now. She just got so busy with taking care of her cousin with his diabetes. She said he calls me constantly. But she's happy to help him relax because she knows he's struggling. Oh, well, that's good that you're there for him, because I can imagine it can be something hard to deal with, partly depending on the level, partly depending on the person and the disruption to their life and how it's changed their life. It can be something that can take a while to get to grips with. But yeah, don't worry about catching up. Just go with the flow. It's Christmas. Say, I'm trying to get ahead of mine, but that's because of what I prefer. And I personally prefer to try and get mine done and finished this side of Christmas. But I have put everything else on hold. So I've not done any of my other diamond paintings. So I'm sure come January I'll feel behind on those. Streaks Me says, yummy putty. She now wants to eat lemon sherbets. Lemon sherbets are a good sweet. She said, on a sad but funny note, she said she cracked her yesterday's gift pen while putting in a multi-placer. She used super glue to adhere the small chunk, at the same time affixing her fingers to the pen itself. Ooh, you're not supposed to have an excuse to diamond paint all the time. But that's a good way to do it. She said her number one husband squeezed the glue while she held the pen and the small chip. She said his only comment was, I didn't think it would come out so fast. The emojis she's put with this comment, that's awesome. She said, have a wonderful evening. Well, I hope you've either come unstuck or have been able to use it as a reason to diamond paint all the time, because you know you're ready. And you're about to diamond paint, and you can tell because you have a pen ready. I keep breaking the pens that I love the most. I've got one from a limited edition, months and months ago. It may have even been one of the first limited edition pens we ever did. And I dropped it shortly after we'd sold out. So it has a chip on one side. I still use the other side, and I chip my flower pen, but the tip of that one still stays in. So I keep using it and trying to ignore it. But that's the only thing about resin pens, is that they need to be treated, or they definitely need more care than others. That's for sure. Sarah Bagpuss says she loves the videos. Thank you, Sarah. Liz says she has finally caught up, and she's actually managed to complete today's square today. She even watched along at the same time. Oh, I didn't watch what I was doing when I was tipping these in. I was too busy reading a comment to pay attention when I tip the diamonds in this pot. She said hopefully life will get a bit more settled. She said she was out and about last Friday, Saturday and Sunday. She even had 3 advent packages to open this morning. Flipping heck, that is busy. If you can't get to your advent, methinks she might have been too busy. She said she's loving both this picture and all of her advent goodies. She has made a start on the Diamond Art Studio advent picture, but she's only managed 1 square so far. It's going to be a slow burner, and she doesn't think it will be done by Christmas. She said she's never cross-stitched, so it's quite a learning curve. Yeah, it's a bit more of a learning curve if you haven't cross-stitched before or done the likes of a Heaven and Earth design. It can definitely take a bit more to master and get your head round the concept. Grey Legrand said, hi Rebecca. She said she finished sections 8 to 10 yesterday. She said it was loads of fun. She is loving it. Regarding the tree, she said she doesn't have her living room tree up yet. She has a small one in the bedroom and the dinette area, but she's lacking the living room one. She said soon. She says this week she hopes. She says, do you use a real or an artificial tree? She said she only uses artificial since it's a single purchase she can use for years to come. She also says she's really enjoying the advent. She says, by the way, she does leave her decorations up for longer than some because of all the effort to set up and decorate. She adores the Christmas lights and the glow. We used to, so when the kids were younger, we did artificial. Had artificial for years. Kids got older, we then did quite a few years where we got a real tree. And this was when the kids were quite a bit older. We went and got a real tree and really enjoyed that for quite a few years. But we did go back to an artificial tree last year. Partly because we've been busy. I think it might have been partly because of Luna. And we weren't sure how she would potentially be with a real tree. Plus, we kind of felt like a change as well. We felt like we'd done a real tree for quite a few years. And I went on a mammoth hunt last year, found an absolutely gorgeous tree that I was really happy with. One, the price, and second, sort of the look and the colour tone. It's got a bit more of a bluey green to it than a harsh green to it. So yeah, we went back to artificial last year. So that's what we've got up this year, which has made it loads easier. Though the first year we decorated the conservatory, we put lights up around 3 sides of the roof. It was basically one string of lights. And we put what used to be the garland that went round our stairs. We put that on that top windowsill I was talking about. It's right up by the roof. So unless you're going to put some decorations high up, we actually put the Christmas garland up there. It wasn't heavy Christmas. So like, it was green, it's got fir cones. It does have a couple of silver baubles in it, I think, but not many. And we put the Christmas lights going through there. We never took them down. They've been up every year since, because we love having that set of Christmas lights around the room. So yeah, they've now been up for, this will be the 3rd year. And they're not coming down anytime soon because we like them. The tree will though. Cat Lady says she's late getting here today because she's been to a dental appointment. Ooh, don't like them. She says all sorted now. Better than going 3 days before Christmas. That's true. I'll give you that one. She said all her putty she already has is lemon. She said she loves it. It's a nice, fresh fragrance. Yeah, that's partly what we thought. We wanted something nice and fresh smelling that wouldn't necessarily, you know, maybe if you put in like the scent as much. Something that smells clean, like lemon does or linen does, is always, well, it's my favourite type of smell, but I think it's always also a safer smell than some others can be, if you're not making the choice. She says she doesn't use Instagram, so she hasn't entered. What's Instagram for? Haven't entered what? That's confusing me. If you mean the art dot on my other channel, you don't have to use Instagram to win. It's just they said they were going to announce the winners on Instagram. But I'll go and have a nosy and see. I would expect them to either let me know or put a comment on YouTube as well for people to be able to claim their prize. She said she still hasn't wrapped any more parcels, but she is mostly decked up. She said she'll hopefully get some wrapping done this week before we leave for the weekend away. Yes, it'll be time, won't it? This video's going up on a Friday. It's Thursday today. We got our recycling bins emptied today for anybody that's following the bin saga. There was quite a few posts that went up on Facebook saying they've been seen. None of this I've seen Santa. It's I've seen the bin men. After more than 10 weeks without having our bin emptied, everybody was more excited to see the bin man. But yes, our recycling bins have been emptied. So next week it should be our black bins, and then we should be back to normal, which will be good. I'm actually quite glad that the recycling's been emptied. We did have a skip for some garden work, and I got a bigger skip than was needed. We only needed a small skip for the garden work, so I ordered a medium, and we actually have 4 bins. We have 2 of each, 2 black, 2 blue, and yeah, it all got emptied into the skip. So we started afresh with empty bins a couple of weeks ago. Might have been 3-4 weeks ago. So we've not struggled as much as some. And hubby's been a tip a few times with recycling. But yeah, I'm glad it's over. Tammy, she says, working hybrid gives her the opportunity to choose what she listens to while she's working. She said, so that said, she is listening to this WIP and Waffle while addressing the always growing workload. Doesn't it always grow? She said she was hoping it would be a light die to the holidays, but no such luck. There we go. See, you were hoping for something. That's why work went the opposite way. She says, anyways, thanks as always for keeping me company and giving me something useful to listen to. You can say you've achieved something by the end of the day. Ignore the workload, but you've achieved something by listening to the WIP and Waffle. And hopefully getting some me time in for yourself once work is done. Right, getting there. I just have this part and then the book up the top. See how many more comments I can get through. I feel like I'm getting through a few today. Inga said, hi Rebecca. She says currently she is using the pink, blue, purple wax that comes with kits in her pens. Depending on the company, she says they are not the same. Some are more sticky, which she likes for rounds multi-placer more, and some are more medium, which she likes for the squares multi-placer, and single placers, but she has to change it every 1 to 2 hours. She said today's advent gift, she said, had me pausing the video and looking up diamond painting putty. She said, sadly, she did not get the advent herself. Maybe next year. She said, ridiculous shipping prices lead her to the DIY side of things, and she'll try making some. She says, does the putty last longer than pink wax, or is it more of a colour/scent thing? Yes, it lasts loads longer, in my opinion. I do have to change it out potentially quicker than I do a glue dot, but a lot less than I do wax. I mean, when you say 1 to 2 hours, which could potentially be a diamond painting session in an evening for me, I can go a couple of weeks without changing the putty, depending on how much I'm using the multi-placer. But even if we narrowed it down and said I can last a week without changing it, it's still a lot quicker than the wax. I've also heard that blue tack can work as well. Maybe that's something you can get more local to you. Lynn loves diamond painting. She said, hi Rebecca. She said she was pleasantly surprised when she opened today's advent. She says, is this a sneak peek of future items to buy from the Zesty Zone? She said, curious minds want to know. Maybe. We are looking at potentially getting some supplied. I have reached out to the company that did the putty for the advent, but I've not heard anything back yet. So it's a maybe. It's not something I think that we would do ourselves. I mean, never say never. But we do have quite a lot of items at the moment that are produced in-house that take a lot of time, a lot of my time, and I have a lot of plans for other things that are going to take a lot of my time. But yeah, we are hoping that we may be able to stock some to have those options for people to pop in with stuff that's getting shipped anyway if they want to give it a go. But we'll see what happens on that front. Little note though, that putty, adding in the putty, was actually something that we changed an item for. An item that we were going to prepare for the advent instead. We switched it out to putty because we thought that would be a bit more exciting. So it cost us a bit more, but it saved us a bit of time, and we thought it would be more fun and different than what we were going to put in. It was the last minute change, or last few months change, should I say. Busy Lizzie, she said, did I see putty? She said, am I seeing a spoiler that you'll be making your own putty? I haven't actually looked into the making process of it, to be honest. We are going to see if we can get it supplied by someone. She says she is a connoisseur of putty. She said especially UK-based putty, as she's from the UK. Well, the maker of that putty is also UK. So it is UK-made putty. They made it for us. So that scent was for us. But yeah, you can see the name on the back. We're not hiding anything. But yeah, it was amazing. They were able to come together and put us together those for the advent in a well quicker time than we expected, so that we could include it. She says, if you make lots of scents, you'll be buying all of them. See, that's where we could end up going down a rabbit hole. Say it's not a no, it's something that you know, if we can't find something that works with somebody that already makes it, then we may look at making it ourselves, but it's not something that we've delved into at all. She said, excited to see if it's true or not, also excited to see the half paintings become full paintings. That part I can do. We're nearly there with the books, and I am loving the way that they're coming together. It's been fun. Debbie, she says she just wanted to say thank you for all that you do. Oh, thanks, Debbie. She says she absolutely loving diamond painting at the moment, and listening and watching you whilst doing it is heaven. Well, we've definitely got a few more days together chatting and diamond painting, that's for sure. Diane's diamond painting journey says hi. She says she is a newer subscriber. She says, and she thinks it's the first video that she's watched. She is really loving the look of our advent calendar canvas. She says she's also seen a couple of friends unbox their goodies from the advent calendar, and you sent out some great things. Oh, thank you. She says she's originally from Newfoundland, Canada, but she's now living in Belgium. I think Belgium would be a little bit warmer than Canada, maybe. Definitely different, but yeah. Love it. Hello, welcome, enjoy. I'm here every day. Lady Dex, she said the way her head has been. She said she hasn't known whether she's coming or going with her days. I think I'm in denial. I think that's what my head's doing to me. She says, but hopefully after a trip to the doctors today, she'll be getting sorted. She says she does have to have a 24-hour blood pressure monitor fitted on Wednesday to see if she is, stage 1 hypertension. She says she really hates the thought of taking more pills, but if needs, must. Anyway, she says she really loved the zesty lemon putty in today's advent. She said, like me, she uses glue dots in her single placer, but putty in her 4-placer. She said, happy dotting. Well, I hope everything went well at the doctor's and that you've got the answers that you want/need, because they can be 2 different things. But I hope either way it's all worked out. Try and get my camera to go the right way, which is backwards. But I do love the way that cross is in the middle. That's what I like that's sort of become apparent on this square. But yeah, day 15 is done. We're off over here for day 16, so that will then make everything its own sort of not touching anymore. You'll break it up a bit more. But anyway, it's getting late. I need to go and sit. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again tomorrow.